Any question you can ask later. I've at the end of my debate on the motion of thanks to the King's address yesterday, submitted a notice of motion to amend the said motion of thanks in the following, by adding the following words, and resolves that the oil and gas royalty as compensation in lieu of oil and gas rights payable to Sarawak be increased from the present 5% to 20%. I call upon all the 25 Sarawak BN MPs to support this amendment motion. This is in the interest of Sarawak and also in line with the State Barisan Nasional policy. In May 2014, the Sarawak Dun passed a motion to give mandate to the state government to demand for the increase in the Sarawak's oil and gas royalty as compensation in lieu of oil and gas rights from 5% to 20%. That motion was unanimously support. That motion had the unanimous support from both sides of the Dun. However, 22 months have passed and still nothing comes out of it. Instead of advancing in the demand, the state government has retreated. What was once the top priority in Adina Satem's agenda is now relegated to the last matter, to demand. This only shows that the BN government is not willing to give in to the demand for 20% oil and gas royalty for Sarawak. The excuse this time is that the drop in international oil prices. But our argument is on the contrary. In fact, this is the best time for Sarawak to get the 20% oil royalty. Number one, why? Given the low oil prices, the amount involved in the increase from the 5% to 20% will not be as much had the oil prices was at USD 100 per barrel. Previously, with the international oil price at USD 100 per barrel, the incremental 15% will be an additional approximately 5 billion from the state government, from the federal government to the state government. Now, given that the international oil price has dropped by 60%, this incremental 15% will be approximately 2 billion from the federal government to the state government. It will not be as much a strain on the federal coffer as before. Number two, the federal government has just received extra windfall revenue from the implementation of GST in 2015. This is according to the statements by the Customs Director General that they have collected more than they have expected. All right. Number three, the number of Sarawak MP of BN holds the keys to the federal government. Najib and his cabinet owe their positions to the 25 Sarawak BN MPs, and thus Sarawak's wishes ought to be given priority. The situation may be different after 14 GE. All right, without the support of Sarawak MPs, 25 MPs, Barisan Nasional will only have 109, and minus away Muhyiddin and Shafi'i Abda, it will be 107. All right, so clearly they are in the minority without the 25 MPs from Sarawak. Okay, Sarawak election is just around the corner, and Najib needs the biggest BN win in Sarawak to secure his position as the Prime Minister. All right, if even with such favorable conditions, the federal government is still not willing to return to Sarawak state government the 20% oil royalty, then there's no hope for Sarawak getting the said 20% from within Barisan Nasional. However, if my amendment motion submitted yesterday were to get the majority of the House support, which only needs, you only need the 35 MPs, then the federal government will have no choice but to carry out the resolution of the Dewan, the House. The opposition side of the House will support my amendment motion. It is up to the 25 Barisan Nasional MPs to give the nod, and this amendment motion will get through, and Sarawak will get its 20% oil and gas royalty. To support this amendment motion is not asking the 25 Sarawak MPs, BM MPs to quit BN or to withdraw their support for Najib. It is merely to execute the May 2014 resolution of the Sarawak Duns and the policy of the Sarawak state government, BN government. It is now up to the 25 BN MPs to show whether Sarawak's interest is at their priority or the loyalty to UMNO is at their priority. So it's now for them to choose between to be loyal to UMNO or to be loyal to the Sarawak interests. All right, any question? Extra. Yeah. Okay, then I can give you. All right. No question. That's it. All right. Thank you.